Be yourself. As someone who is a self-identified cinephile, my favorite movie of all time is Dreamgirls. I can still remember the feeling that 10-year-old me felt as I sat in a movie theater the day after Christmas in 2006. I'd never experienced anything like it, and honestly, I haven't since. I saw the movie several times in theaters, a couple bootleg copies, regular and deluxe soundtracks. My dad at some point had a Jimmy Early prop poster in his office. I, to this day, own the 2-disc special edition DVD, which I do not play because I wore it out enough back in the day. Regular copy on DVD, just in case I get the itch to watch it every now and again. Had a Dreamgirls scrapbook, and my friends can attest to this, with covers of the cast from Jet, from Ebony. Remember magazines. I even purchased a copy of the novelization, which was not appropriate for a 10 or 11-year-old to be reading, but I carried it around with me everywhere and I read it incessantly. That copy right there. This is it, well worn. Now, let's be clear before we go any further. This here is a Effie White stan account. As a child of the 2000s, I was well aware that my frame was not the ideal. I was coming of age in an era that was super harsh for a chubby black girl with a bad haircut. Jennifer Hudson, with that role, found a special place in my heart and shaped the way I felt about my self-image. This was a woman who was beautiful. She was thick. She was a medium-toned black girl, and she sang down to the ground from the beginning to the end of that film. I could and still can relate to being someone who knew their giftings, could have an abrasive personality at times, and was often taken advantage of by others because of those things. And seeing Jennifer be sassy and strong and flirty and desired and desirable made me feel like, okay, maybe one day I can get there too. If you've never seen the movie, which would be a cardinal sin, Dreamgirls is a 2006 film directed by Bill Condon, starring Jennifer Hudson, Beyoncé the Knowles, Anika Noni Rose, Jamie Foxx, Eddie Murphy, Keith Robinson, Danny Glover, Sharon Lill, and Jaleesa from A Different World for like 32 seconds. Pause. The film chronicles the rise and fall of a girl group, The Dreams, in the 1960s. It's based on the Broadway play of the same name that opened in 1981. Really quick aside, the fact that Ain't No Party was cut from the film is a crime, and Anika Noni Rose sung the hell out of it for her screen test. Justice for all the Laurels. The play is truly a marvel, which garnered Jennifer Holliday a Tony, but let's stick to the movie for now. This film was huge. With its exceptional budget, stacked cast, and visionary director, the buzz that surrounded this film was huge. The marketing, the billboards, the ads all prepared us for the anticipated Christmas Day release. The film was not only going to be big for the culture, but it would also be a crossover phenomenon. These roles, this budget, was every black actor's dream. You had Jamie Foxx, who was coming off his big Oscar win for Ray. Anika Noni Rose was coming off of her Tony for Caroline or Change. Eddie Murphy, who was a bona fide legend, looking to switch up his catalog and persona. Beyonce, at the time, was Black America's sweetheart. She'd released her solo project Dangerously in Love in 2003 and immediately followed that up with Destiny's Child, Destiny Fulfilled in 2004. By 2005, she just finished up what would be their last tour. For Beyonce, Dina Jones was not merely a role. It was a vehicle for her to become a serious actress. To her credit, it is her strongest performance on film to date, in my opinion. But when we're talking about awards and Dreamgirls, whether that be on stage or on film, Dina Jones does not win awards. Sheryl Lee Ralph, the originator of Dina, was nominated for a Tony and went home empty-handed in 1982. The hero of this story, the character with the best arc, is Effie White. In 2004, a 24-year-old Jennifer Hudson had just unlawfully come in 7th place on American Idol. The search for Effie was on, and 783 women auditioned for the role, including Patina Miller, Raven Simone, and fellow American Idol alumna Fantasia Barrino. Remember when Ryan said that like that? Fantasia Barrino. I love that apparently Fantasia called Jennifer, jokingly complaining that she'd stolen Barrino's part. With a hell of a cast assembled, the movie was filmed, canned, and released. Let's talk a little bit about the film itself and some of my thoughts. Quick warning. This will not be a beat-by-beat recap of the movie because I'm simply not doing that. Things that I just want to talk about as far as Dreamgirls is concerned. That's what I want to talk about. Number 1, Curtis Taylor Jr. was the goddamn devil. When we meet the Dreamettes, Effie, Laurel, and Dina are all of 17 to 18 years old. Curtis is a grown man who owns a car dealership, has been divorced, and is looking to break into the music industry by any means necessary. Curtis is hungry. His shystiness moves everyone to a whole other level of success. The only person who really understands the cost that this comes at is Cece, because he's right along with him doing dirt. And we will get on you later, Cece. Curtis sees the girls as a ticket, a means to an end, that end being his dream of holding power. We see how interchangeable they are in the way that he handles his relationships with all of the women in the film. Curtis and Effie's relationship is tragic. Let's be clear. All of Curtis's relationships are predatory, but his relationship with Effie is his most authentic one. In the novelization of the film by Deneen Milner, we get more perspective on these two. Effie builds a bond with Curtis's sisters, and he even likens her spark, sass, and frame to his first wife. Effie challenges him, she teases him, and her gift entices him. He's attracted to her, but he can't stand it. Effie is simply too big, too black, too brash, and too church. But boy, oh boy, baby, Effie love her some Curtis. Losing this man broke her to the point that she did nothing but raise his daughter and collect welfare for 9 years. 9 years. When Effie finally has her resurgence, she's around 31 years old. Whole twin is just gone. In the scenes that we get from them in the movie, Jennifer and Jamie have really good chemistry. I always find myself blushing during that bar scene when her and Curtis are kind of having a little bit of a back and forth. And during Love You, I Do, even though I know the train wreck that is coming. Dina, on the other hand, is everything he needs to get to where he wants to go. She is beautiful, she is marketable, she is quietly ambitious, and she's obedient. When she leaves him, Curtis immediately moves on to another woman who he's able to presumably manipulate and control in the same way that he'd done to Dina for those years of their marriage. To be frank, I don't think he loved either one of them. Curtis was self-interested, and with these women no longer aligned with his interests, he set his sights elsewhere. Number 2, Laurel Robinson really deserved better. Recently, I've been cracking up at all the "all you gotta do is dream" memes on TikTok. So imagine my absolute joy when Anika Noni Rose, Laurel Robinson herself, baby, jumped in and killed us all. It was wonderful, and it sparked me to really want to write this whole video. Laurel is the dream that no one focuses on, including the writers. I will forever love the novelization for giving us what this movie needed, which is more Laurel. In the film, what we get from Laurel is mostly to do with Jimmy. She spends most of her time pining over and grieving him. There's more to her though. For instance, it was she and Effie who were friends first, and eventually she roped Dina into the group. In the novel, we see that she has a much closer relationship with Effie, and Dina is usually the one who's off to the side plotting world domination. I'd love to see them play with the girls' dynamic more. In a story about a girl group, I wish we'd have sacrificed maybe 5 minutes of Jimmy and given it to Laurel. Number 3, fuck Norbit, Eddie Murphy deserved the Oscar. That's it. That's the sentiment. Moving on. Number 4, Curtis, Effie, and the magic they made. One of the biggest reveals in the movie is that Effie had pain because she was pregnant with Curtis's baby. Rewatching and seeing this woman be verbally jumped by her friends, baby daddy, and literal blood brother while pregnant is really, it's really a bit. I get livid from heavy through, and I'm telling you, I'm upset. That whole portion of the film, upset. Cece, come here, bring it to the floor. Come on. You are trash, boy. You're trash. You are writing all of the music. You are writing on top of doing crimes with Curtis and undermining your sister with him at every turn. So you write heavy, a song commemorating his growing ire for your literal sister. Where is the loyalty clearance, Conrad? Now, Effie Melody White, I love you. We right here with it, baby. But why didn't you just tell that man you was pregnant? A lot of your problems could have been avoided by just saying, hey Curtis, all that rocking got fatherhood and knocking, playboy. I can make no excuses for that choice. That one. Now we have this whole situation with Effie and Magic juxtaposed with Dina literally begging Curtis to let her have his child. I always thought that Effie quietly having the one thing that Dina wanted from Curtis was the ultimate karma. She coveted that man. She coveted what her friend had. And when she got it, she still didn't get it the way that Effie did, which is wild. To this day, my biggest question is, what did Curtis do when he walked down them stairs at the performance and it registered in his mind that Magic was his baby? Would he simply acknowledge it and move on? Or step up and be there for Magic? If we're following the Diana, Berry Gordy, secret baby canon, then Effie and Curtis would become friends and always have like really mean sexual tension. I hope we never find out, because if anyone ever produced a sequel to this movie, I would have a stroke. And lastly, number 5. Beyoncé, Jennifer, and why can't we just let Black women get along? With the film being a massive hit, the entire cast was blasted even further into the stratosphere. No one more so than an ingenue Jennifer Hudson. As I stated earlier, for Beyoncé, this film was meant to segue her into serious cinema and be a real awards vehicle for her. However, upon release, no one could stop talking about Jennifer's performance. I remember watching her win the Golden Globe and the Oscar in 2007 and feeling the significance of those moments. From the beginning, we were fed stories such as Beyoncé lost 20 pounds to play Dina while Hudson gained 20 pounds to play Effie. Soon, the commonly held ideal in the media and honestly with everyone I knew was that Beyoncé was jealous of Jennifer's success. News outlets accused Beyoncé of calling Jennifer fat and Jennifer of being angry that Beyoncé received special treatment while on set. Both ladies, however, have always maintained that they bonded on set and that there was never any bad blood. Beyoncé stated in an interview in 2006, "I've already won 9 Grammys and everyone knows that I can sing, so I did this mainly to prove that I can act." She added, "She pulled it off and she's incredible. She's sweet and she deserves it. She's gifted. I hope she maintains that same sweetness." As a 10, 11-year-old girl at the time, I really struggled to detach Beyoncé from the role as Dina and fed into a lot of the negative press that surrounded her at the time. As an adult with some media literacy, I would love to believe that it was the press that really drummed up all this foolishness between these ladies, especially considering that Hudson would publicly deal with the tragic loss of her family 1 year later in 2008. If you look at the record verbatim, Jennifer and Beyoncé have always publicly supported and uplifted each other. In a 2013 Watch What Happens Live interview with Andy Cohen, Jennifer stated, "There were never any rifts at all. That is still my girl to this day. I love her. We always been good." Dreamgirls is a film that I could talk about into eternity. The film does so much to provoke commentary and leave us wanting more. From the predatory nature of every romantic relationship in the movie, because we have not touched on the foolishness that was Laurel and Jimmy, to the rivalries, the award season drama, and on and on and on. This movie provided me with an interest in sets and lighting and enhanced my love for musical theater. It hit me to legends like Fatima Robinson and Ruth Carter. It's a treasure, and it reminds me every time I watch it that all you have to do is dream. Thank you so much for watching this video. It was so much fun to make. I've been meaning to get back to my YouTube channel for the past 4 years. But I wanted my first video back to be a love letter to something that enriched me and is still enriching me. I would love to continue to make content and take all of the stuff that's up here and put it out there to you guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. Tell your mama, tell your sisters, tell your cousins, tell your friends. It's me, Kay. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.